All right, so do me a favor, guys. On your worksheet, okay, on this homework that you have in front of you right now, I want you guys to just cross these out, okay? 1, 2, 3, and 4. The purpose of the first 4 problems are for you to practice elimination and substitution. If you've been doing the homework for the past 2 days, you guys should have had some practice on substitution and elimination. So I'm not going to overdo it because you're going to have to do a bunch of little problems like this anyway with these word problems, okay? So go ahead and get rid of 1 through 4. That's just extra. I'm not the type of teacher that's like, oh, let's have them do the following problem 30 times, right? Just, I'll make you do it a couple times and move on. So I know you're going to have to do it more than a couple times right now, so we'll get rid of those 4. Now, let's get to this stuff right here. Okay? The word problems. Like I said, I am going to set them up for you guys. Maybe not everyone, but I'll try to doing like all of them except for like 2. And then I'll let you guys set up the last 2 or something, okay? Just to at least have you try it. Because there's going to be one question like this on your quiz. Okay? I've seen your quiz. There's one question like this on it. Okay? So this is what I mean by noise. So let's read up on question 5. Okay? It says, the school that Danielle goes to is selling tickets to a play. Well, who cares? That doesn't do anything for me. There's no numbers, right? That's just noise. It says on the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 11 adult tickets and 10 student tickets for the total of $155. All right? That has a lot of numerical information, so that's important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of highlight that for myself as my first equation, okay? Then it says the school took in $80 on the second day by selling 6 adult tickets and 5 student tickets. Well, look, there is my next sentence that actually has information for me. Then it says, what is the price each of 1 adult ticket and 1 student ticket? So you got to solve for the variables, okay? That's what the last sentence is always saying. Find your 2 variables. So notice how the very first sentence, it doesn't need to be paid attention to. Who cares what they're selling, okay? They give me information later on. So let's take it a sentence at a time. So the one in yellow says, on the first day of ticket sales, so who cares which day it is? It says, they sold 11 adult tickets. Let's say adult tickets, we're going to call it the letter A, okay? And 10 student tickets. So we'll call that the letter S, or if you don't want to use an S, you can use a letter T or K for kids, whatever you want. But they say for a total of. Now the word total means you should be adding stuff together, right? So, because total means that you're going to add stuff together and it equals 155. So this is what my first equation looks like. 11A plus 10, I'll use S, equals 155. There it is. 11 adult tickets plus 10 student tickets is going to be $155 total. Then it says, the school took in $80 on the second day. That means whatever they did was equal to 80. Okay, now what did they do? They sold 6 adult tickets and 5 student tickets. 6 adult and 5 students. Now you have to solve for this, okay? Using elimination most likely, okay? You can use substitution if you want. That's okay. But you could also use elimination. But notice this is not going to be an easy elimination because your A variable has an 11 and a 6. They don't match. The S variable has a 10 and a 5. Those don't match. So you're going to probably have to do multiplication and then start doing elimination. So these are a little bit tougher problems. Okay, but notice I just read the sentence and it tells me what to write. You just got to pay attention to what they're writing. Okay, but it's pretty easy. Now the next one looks even longer, right? I'm not sure how to say these, but Mofor and Tutsakan, I'm not sure, are selling wrapping paper for a school fundraiser. Great, good for them, okay? Customers can buy rolls of plain wrapping paper and rolls of holiday wrapping paper. Again, I don't care, right? Let's find the good stuff. The good stuff is coming up. says, before sold 2 rolls of plain wrapping paper, and 12 rolls of holiday wrapping paper for a total of 166. So that's the first equation. Let's write this out. Okay, so before sold 2 rolls of plain wrapping paper. I'm going to call it P for plain. Okay, so 2 plain says and 12 rolls, so plus 12 rolls of holiday. I'm going to put H for a total of 166. All right, cool. I got one equation. The next one says, Tutsakin sold 4 rolls of plain wrapping paper and 7 rolls of holiday wrapping paper for a total of 128. Okay, I do want to remind you guys about your devices, all right? Ashley... Ashley, this is for you, but it doesn't say when. So if you don't mind, wait till I'm done doing this. I'm sure you'll appreciate having the setup, or maybe once I've done half of it. It doesn't say as soon as possible, so I don't know if they need you. Actually, it doesn't say anything. What should the next equation be? 4P plus 7. There you go. Easy, right? It's not that bad. You just got to read it and write it. Okay? People get so scared of these problems because there's like, what, how many sentences? 5? And they're like, oh my gosh, I got to read 5 different sentences. This has got to be difficult, right? But if you just ignore the stuff that doesn't really matter, like, I don't care if it's Christmas. Like, who cares, right? Tell me what I need to do. Okay, and then at the end it says, what is the cost each of 1 roll of plain wrapping paper and 1 roll of holiday? That means you got to find P and you got to find H. Give them the answers, right? So in other words, solve. That's all they're saying. Just solve. All right, so that's number 6. How many problems are there? 10? No, 11. So we'll do 7, 8, 9, and then I'll give you the last 2, okay? All right, number 7. The senior classes at High School A and High School B plan separate trips to the state fair. Notice that sentence matters so little, they didn't even give the schools' names. Okay? It's just a distractor. It says the senior class at High School A rented and filled 12 vans and 1 bus with 168 students. So there we go. We got some good information here. Senior class rented, filled vans, and a bus for 168. So let me write this down. I'm going to use the letter V for vans and the letter B for buses, okay? So the first high school, they filled 12 vans, okay, and 1 bus. I'm just going to put a B there, okay? I'm not going to put 1B, but just B, equal to, it had 168 students. So 12 vans plus a bus of students was 168. Then they say, High School B rented and filled 6 vans and 6 buses with 282 students. So 6 vans and 6 buses for 282. Now they say each van and each bus carry the same number of students. Whatever, who cares? How many students can a van carry? How many students can a bus carry? In other words, solve. Notice, out of all those 5 sentences, only 2 of them matter. I mean, obviously the last sentence, in a sense, tells you what you should do, but they all basically mean solve. Okay, you set up an equation, you solve it. All right? Let me give you a second. I'm going to have you guys try this one out. Okay? Scott and Ryan are selling pies for a school fundraiser. Good for them. Customers can buy apple pies and pumpkin pies. Sounds delicious, except for the pumpkin. I don't like pumpkin pies. Anybody here like pumpkin pie? Oh, you guys are disgusting. You know what I don't like about it? I don't like the consistency of pumpkin pie. It's kind of grainy. Some people make it like real nice and creamy, but some people make it grainy, almost like if you're eating the top of the pumpkin parts. Like they didn't take it off. So I don't like that. I don't know. But I'll tell you, I will eat 1 pumpkin pie. Those of you guys that love pumpkin pie, try this out. During Thanksgiving month, so November, and usually Christmas, so December. Caro's makes this thing, and you might want to write this down. It's called a harvest pie. Okay? Now, I hate pumpkin pie. That's a pumpkin pie, and I will eat that one. Because it's this much pumpkin filling, and then on top of that is this much pumpkin mousse. So it's like a whipped cream of pumpkin. That tastes really good. I hate pumpkin pie, but I will eat that pie by myself. And it's made of pumpkin. So it's called the harvest pie from Caro's. And if you want some, you better go order it soon because they run out of it all the time. Okay, it's super good. Anyway, so I'm going to highlight the two sentences. Okay, there's the first one. There's the second one. Says, what is the cost of one apple pie and one pumpkin pie? So, can somebody give me the first equation? Whoa. Hold on. My whole screen went sideways. 3a plus equals. All right, what's the next one? All right, so there we go. Done. Solve. Okay? Who cares about what they're selling? A and P, apple pie, pumpkin pie, you solve for one, you solve for the other, you solve for what they want. Okay? So again, don't let the word problem scare you. They're all done the same way. Okay? The next one says, May and Jill have improved their yards by planting grass sod and geraniums. Again, I don't care. They bought their supplies from the same store. Great. Okay, then they come to some stuff that makes sense. It says, May spent $165 on 1 square foot of grass sod and 14 geraniums. Then it says, Jill spent $275 on 12 square feet of grass sod and 13 geraniums. Find the cost of 1 square foot of grass sod and the cost of 1 geranium. So the first one, they said it equals to 165, right? So I'm just going to put it right here. Equals 165. 1 square foot of grass sod. I'm going to call it G for grass. Okay, so 1 square foot of grass. So G plus 14 geraniums. Actually, that was a bad choice, right? Should we call it S for sod, maybe? So S and then 14G for geraniums. And then it says Jill spent $275. 12 square feet of grass sod, so 12S plus 13 geraniums. Now, just out of curiosity, what would be the best way to solve this one? Would you rather use substitution or elimination? Substitute. I would substitute. The reason why, just in case you're not sure why, is this. See how that letter is all by itself? I don't have to add or subtract anything to it, no division, nothing like that. If I solve for S, I can just plug it into the other equation and start solving. Okay? So any equation that has a solo variable, I would use substitution. Me personally, you don't have to. There's nothing wrong if you don't want to, but that's what I would do. For 8, I would definitely do elimination. For 7, I would do substitution. I would solve for B. Up here. That's all by itself, right? So, whoa, I erased the B. So look for that stuff, okay? I'm going to let you guys do the last two, but I will highlight the stuff for you on the notes. That way at least you can see them. But Ryan spent that, so there's that right there. And then Dan spent this much. So there are your equations right there. And then for the last one, Castell and Joe are selling, blah, blah, blah. Castell, so, okay, so here we go. So, yeah, I call it noise. When you guys were little, I mean, compared to my age, you're still little. But when you guys were shorter, let's say, you were maybe in 3rd or 4th grade when you guys used to do word problems. But the word problems are super easy. But a lot of times the assignment was figure out what information is unnecessary. So you read a problem and you'd have to like cross out what you thought was unnecessary. That's basically what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm saying, look, there's a lot of stuff here, and sure, it's gonna make things confusing, but if you pay attention to the stuff that matters, right, then the rest doesn't matter, right? You set up your equations, and you're good to go, right? So I'm gonna let you guys work on this for the rest of the period. You have a lot of time, okay? Or if you wanna work on your review, you can do that, okay? It's up to you. Your homework is to finish this if you can. Remember, you don't have to do it all tonight if you don't want to. But please try to do the review tonight. Okay? Because tomorrow we're going to go over the whole review and I'm going to give you all the answers. And I want you guys to at least have tried it and seen if you know it or you don't. Okay? That way you know what you have to focus on. Right? So work on whatever you need. We have, it's going to be 10, 25 minutes. Okay? So you should be able to do some damage somehow on something, all right? So let me pause this. Forgot to pause it.